All right, friends. So for today, what I'd like to do is share with you a Adobe Spark Post app that you can use for your line letter challenge. Right? It's really easy to use. It's free for Android, iOS, and there's a desktop version at adobe.com. So if I click on Adobe Spark Post, it's going to look like this. Going to get to a screen that has all of these templates you can use, and you could choose to use some of those. There's a collage one, there's seasonal, there's different ones. The one that I'd like you to use for this activity is the plus sign. So if I hit plus, I'm basically going to just use one photograph. So if I click on photo library right there, it's going to take me to the library on the device that I have. And what you can do is look for a landscape. So if you need to go out and take a photograph of a landscape, if you have a landscape photograph from a hike or a field trip or a trip that you took as a family on vacation, you can use any of those things. This is about just using line and reflecting on nature or a place. So let's say I choose this photograph right here, and I am going to, where to go? Then I'm going to go ahead and hit add. So I'm going to add it. And that was my dog, don't mind that. And then you could choose different kind of sizes down here. Right? I'm going to keep the original size, right? Because I like how it cropped right there. So then I'll hit done in green down here at the bottom. There we go. So now I can add my text. And I could think about the words that I want to use, first of all, right? And I would keep it kind of short, just a couple adjectives or a couple sentence fragments, or it could be a sentence. That's up to you. But it says, obviously, double tap to add text, so I'll click on that. Oh, I got a double tap, right? So now I can change the text. So I could say, long walk, because when my family and I were in Washington, D.C., we took a really long walk, many long walks through the Washington Mall. So if I click on that, now I can move that text anywhere I'd like to put it. Right? So maybe I drop it in the water right there. So I've got that. So then I'm going to go ahead and add, I'm going to say done here. I'm going to add another piece of text. So it says add text after I hit that plus sign. So now I can type something else. How about reflecting thoughts? Ooh, or yeah, reflecting thoughts. Hit done. So now I have that second word. Now I can change the format of the lettering. I can kind of stretch it out. I can make it bigger. I can stack them if I want to. Right? So once I get like the text in there, I can think about maybe where I would like to see it. Maybe I want to move this up here. You right? Oh, it's actually, I'm going to edit this because I wanted it to say long walks. Okay. So now what I can do is I can experiment with, I don't like this box right here. So if I go to where it says shape and I click on that, there's all these different shapes that I can use, but I'm going to turn that off so it goes blank. And I'm going to hit done. I'm going to do the same thing down here too. So I use that same tool to get rid of that. So now it's just the text in there. So now I can think about these are thin lines as far as the letters go. If I want to use bolder lines, I can go down, I'm going to touch there, then I can go to font, which is the types of letters. So if I click on this railway, you can see where now it becomes a bold line, right? And that's going to have a different read for the person that's looking at it. So there's many different fonts I can try down here, right? Oh, where was that when it was kind of broken up a little bit, right? Oh, I kind of like that because it's gives it kind of like a nature kind of feel. So I can put that in there, think about where I want it to go, maybe change the size a little bit more so it tucks in. All right, so I'm going to hit done on that one. And then reflecting thought. So if I want to experiment with the font there, I can try out different fonts as well. Right? And they're going to give you different feelings when you look at them. That's the cool thing about type, is that when you include it in artwork, it acts just as like the colors that you choose or the lines that you choose or the shapes that you choose. It's going to give the viewer a different feeling, right? Some pretty funky ones too. All right, so I'm going to use this one because I kind of like the lightness of it when I think of reflecting. So once I have that, again, I can think about experimenting with the size. If I click on spacing, I can kind of space out the letters a little bit more. So that way it kind of fills the whole screen. So you can really kind of experiment with so many different things with this app, this application. Now, if I want to change the colors of the letters, right, I can go to where it says color and I can try out different colors in there. If I try, obviously, like a green, that's not going to read as well, right? In that water right there, you can see it gets a little harder to see, right? But I do kind of like how that lighter green can stand out. So maybe I shift to that. I can hit done. And then up here, maybe I choose kind of like a blue so I can read it a little easier. That's going to be too subtle. You can see that light blue disappears. But what you could do, if there's not enough contrast, if I go to effect, I can create a border around those. So if I go back into color, now I have choices. Oh, see, I kind of like that. Right, that one, I'm going to flip it so there's a darker outline around it. Right, and then I can hit done. Once you hit the save button up here, the icon, and you hit save image, it says save to camera roll. So if I were to go into my camera roll on my device, that should be the last image that I have. Right? So long walks, reflecting thoughts. So give it a try. This app has many different type and image applications, and it's really fun to experiment with. And like I said, it is free. Yay! All right, so show me what you got after you play.